In this video, we are going to talk about how to set up a saltwater aquarium. So before starting, please like this video and subscribe to this channel for our future updates. Building a saltwater aquarium is time-consuming. It's surprising how many things are needed to run one. After deciding on the type of saltwater aquarium you want and purchasing the necessary supplies, follow these steps to set up a safe and organized marine aquarium. First, we will prepare the aquarium in the following way. Set up the aquarium. Set up the stand and level it. Allow for electrical connections and equipment. Use a gentle cloth or sponge to clean the tank. If you like, add tank backing and a stand. Electrical connections include sump. Install the sump and accompanying equipment in the cabinet if you chose to use one. It's typically easier to enter the sump through the top than the cabinet doors. If you can't find one, a simple DIY sump might work. Top-off system. Install a DIY automated top-off system before installing your sump. Installation of the sump equipment. Install the sump, equipment, and plumbing under the aquarium in this stage. The sump equipment installation will be quick if you follow the instructions one by one. Using a sump? Skip this step. If you use a sump, 1. Prepare the wet trickle filter. 2. Connect the tank's overflow hose to the sump. 3. Return pump and hose installation. 4. Install protein skimmer in sump. 5. Install aquarium heater. Put in the aquarium equipment. Install the tank-related equipment if your system lacks a sump. Aquarium lighting installation currently will prevent installation of sea salts and tank ornaments. Filter pads should be removed and reinstalled before attaching to the aquarium's rear wall. Now check the tank's rear clearance to the wall. Leave an inch or 2 extra room if you plan to clean the filter. Mount filters, skimmers and power heads in the tank. After installation, hang your power heads where you want them. Your living rock and decorations will inevitably move. Fit the heater. Run a wet test of the system. Run a system wet test before adding sea salts, living rock, or animals. Taking the time to do this ensures that all connections and equipment are working properly. Dry tests employ salt water. Installing living sand or creatures now can kill them. 1. Check and tighten all hose connections. 2. Refresh the aquarium. 3. Dry the tank's exterior and the entire area. 4. Plug in each pump one at a time. 5. Test for leaks at all plumbing connections. 6. If you're using a protein skimmer, there won't be any waste, but you can check for bubbles and run the pump. 7. Turn off the system at the power strip to simulate a power outage. If you use a sump, be sure it doesn't overflow when the sump pump stops and the tank water is sucked back in. If the sump begins to overflow, restart the pump to remove some of the water. Restart and test the system. Drill a small hole in the sump pump return pipe above the tank water line to prevent siphoning tank water back into the sump. In case of a power interruption, the little hole breaks the siphon. Add substrate and sea salts. The substrate you choose for your tank is critical since it is difficult to remove once it has been installed. Additionally, investigate the best sea salt for your aquarium. Shut down the system and drain the tank and sump of all liquids. Then there are marine salts. Start the sump return pump and add the sea salts to the container. This will aid in the dissolution of sea salt. Instead of a sump, use your pumps to collect water. Continue to add sea salt while analyzing the salinity until it is the proper amount. Fill the tank with live sand to keep it alive. If you don't switch on your filter right away, the water will be murky. Remove any particles from non-living sand by rinsing it with fresh water. Situate the rock and aquascaping. You can skip to aquascaping if you already have cured live rock or don't want to utilize it. Now is the time to buy live rock for your aquarium. Or, you can skip the curing phase and start aquascaping right away. If you skip the curing process, make careful to pre-clean the rocks. Pre-clean the rocks and cure them in the tank for a few days before aquascaping. Now start your protein skimmer. The filters should clean the water. The live rocks and substrate are often covered with a fine dust. Surface particles filtered out before sinking to the bottom. You can swirl them back into suspension and let the filters remove them. The water should be clear the next day. Add livestock and cycle the tank. Your cattle can be added once the tank water has cleaned. It is important not to rush this step. Building a good biological filter base takes time. So, how many fish? It relies on a few things. Are your biological filter and tank large enough? On average, 1 inch of fish per 5 gallons of water in a seasoned tank with a biological filter. Slowly introduce more fish and coral.